Warning! The Stone Age Gamer podcast includes a lot of bad language. Cover your motherfucking ears.
Good evening and welcome to the Stone Age Gamer podcast. I'm Kris Randazzo, and joining me tonight is extremely useful can opener Dan Ryan.
Fuck. Yeah.
And inexplicable disdain for washing machines, Dean DeFalco.
Where were you yesterday, Dan? I had a can to open.
I'm very sorry. I've been here. I don't go places. Just waiting to open the can. You gotta come to me, though. I have cancer.
Oh, that's cute.
All aboard the SAG Cartoon Express, everybody. This month's episode was Pac-Man, Season 1, Episode 7, Part 1, Sir Pac-a-Lot. How did Hanna-Barbera handle the intricacies of time travel? I hope you like distinct hats, because the Stone Age Gamer podcast starts now. Hello, everyone. This is episode 541. It is the week of November 22nd, 2024, and welcome. For anyone new here, this is the official podcast of StoneAgeGamer.com. Dan and I talk every week, with occasionally Dean, about what's happening in the world of video games, from retro gamers' perspective, as well as whatever the hell else is going on in our lives. And speaking of which, what's new, fellas?
Oh, boy. Do I want to go first? Do you want to go first? Who wants to go first?
Nah, go ahead.
I have a lot of gas. I've been farting like crazy this week. So I apologize if that comes through on the microphone. I've just been...
It better.
I mean, like, I would be impressed if you got one loud enough to pick up on a dynamic microphone. That would be really impressive. If it
would be absolutely stunning.
Like, on a condenser, that picks up everything. I would not be impressed at all. But on a dynamic, that's the shit they use on stage. Like, you got to fart really hard for that to come through, Kris. So, I mean...
I feel like that would come with a prize, and then we've got a whole situation... Or I've already left the show enough times to run to the bathroom.
Then you've got a whole situation. I don't know that we've got a whole situation.
You know, I was going to ask what sort of prize, and then it kind of all clicked what you were talking about. So, all right. That's fine.
It's a buy one, get one sale, Dean.
Oh, boy. Lovely.
Oh.
Anyway.
You sure you still want to go first, Dean? Or you want to let Kris dig himself a little fucking deeper here?
No, I'll tell you what, man. I gotta say, I've been having some stomach troubles, man. I wake up like 4 or 5 in the morning, and like I gotta let loose, and it is not fun because I can't get back to sleep after that. So, like, I've been playing video games, but like it's kind of begrudgingly because I just don't know what else to do with myself. Like I stand there in a room, it's fucking, you can hear a pin drop. It's so quiet. And I'm just like, I'm fucked. I can't go back to sleep. I look at my bed. The dogs have taken my spot because I was in the bathroom so long taking a shit. And I'm just like, I'm not going to move you. It's like 5 in the morning. If I move you, my wife is going to wake up, and I don't want to wake her up. It's early, and she doesn't want to get up that early. So, you know, I just kind of fuck off and do literally anything else besides what I should be doing, which is sleeping. But, yeah, I mean, besides that, we're not on games yet. I will talk about...
We're just on shit.
Just on shit. You know what? We were talking about bagels in the podcast earlier, not in a positive light, but I want to bring a positive light to them because...
It's always positive light. I fucking love bagels.
As do I, but you brought up a good point. That many people do not believe that you cannot get a good bagel outside of the New York, North Jersey area. And I want to say that is false. It just depends on how hard the person making the bagel is willing to work. Because there are multiple, well, I can't say multiple because it's all a chain, but there are multiple locations down here that make an exceedingly good bagel, and I'm not going to give you its name because it's already fucking busy as shit in there, and I don't need anyone else fucking visiting to make it any more goddamn busy. But they do make one of the best bagels in the entire state, and that is not small praise because I'm a bagel fucking snob. Like I come from the...
I'm sorry, did you say you were a bagel fucking snob?
Yeah. I mean, you know, once I get 2. I get one to eat, and then I get the other one to fuck. Extra cream cheese, slightly microwave.
Wow. No, well, I mean, obviously you want it a little warm. Otherwise, it's just creepy.
Look, it's either that or the hollowed out cantaloupe, and I'd rather go with the bagel because you know what?
Also has to be a little warm.
Yeah, well, you know, like that guy knows I'm not going to eat the second bagel. Who's making it? He knows. He knows. Oh, fuck!
It's the
Where am
buy
I
one,
going
get
with
one
this?
sale.
That's right. You walk in there and he turns to the back and he's like, bagel fucker's here. Ah, damn it.
Listen,
Look
when
at him.
Black
He's so
Friday,
fucking skinny. He's not eating two of them.
The extra wide.
That's for damn sure. He's barely going to get through one.
when Black Friday
Extra
comes
cream
around,
cheese
he sees me coming from a mile away. He's got a whole sack. He calls it a fuck sack, and you know, that's between me and him. He doesn't understand. Like no one else understands with us. That's for me and him. That's for the people.
What's his name?
Tim Sacramenti.
Wow.
Hey, like how I did that, right?
That feels super racist somehow.
Motherfucker, I'm Italian. It can't be racist if I'm
I know, but why is the Italian making bagels?
Because
that's not how that works.
What is the Greek guy? Jim Stephanopoulos?
This isn't a serious fucking question, is it?
Dean, you are so bad at racism.
Dan, who fucking makes bagels? Oh, never mind. I know who makes bagels. I'm not going to say that. No, there's enough
you can say
charged
Jews
shit.
make bagels. They do.
Well, I was about to be like Brad Rosenberg. He's great at making bagels.
That would be a logical fucking path to walk down. That's
look. In
more logical than Tim Sacramenti. If Tim Sacramenti's fucking making penne alla vodka with fresh mutts.
Have you been toward North Jersey fucking deli or bagel shop? It's no Jewish guy in there. That's New York City.
I've been to a North Jersey bagel.
That's New York City.
That's in North Jersey.
Yeah, you clearly haven't because you're telling me there's a Jewish guy behind the counter. I've never seen a Jewish guy behind the counter. It's always an angry Italian guy that's upset I'm taking too long. I'm not racist. How am I racist? It's a white guy. I am white. I am from the lands of Caucasus.
That's how you fucking racist, because you're white.
Against myself?
Racist, Dean. I'm Hispanic. I can't be racist. That's right. Ryan's not my real last name. I actually have a fucking Hispanic last name. Whatever.
I wish I could remember the last names that Dean just came up with, because that would have been a great joke.
Sacramenti and Rosenberg?
That's it. Dan Sacramenti Rosenberg. That's your name.
That's right. That's my name.
Neither of those are Latino, but all right.
I'm an Italian Jew from fucking Spain.
Who's also Latino. A lot going on. Anyway.
Dude, like... I lived in Englewood. It doesn't get more North Jersey than that.
Yeah. I mean, I too am from around that area, and I don't think you ever went to a bagel place if you saw a Jewish man in there. It was always an angry person, and they were not Jewish. They were very New Jersey, and they were not about anything that I wanted.
I will give you that. There is a level of Jersey that kind of supersedes ethnicities. In fucking Jersey delis, because you walk in there and
never order off the menu.
If the word comes out of your mouth, it's like, oh, this fucking guy. Like,
yeah, the eyes are already rolling. You're done.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
It's over. He's gonna spit in your bagel, and like the only thing you can manage at that point is how much spit goes in. So like,
like you've already crossed the line.
Yeah. No, you already offended him by taking too long with your order, which you should have known when you got to the counter.
You should have, 100%.
And like, do we have to go over bagel etiquette for you, Kris? Should we go over that right now? No, we probably shouldn't. We have a fucking show to do.
We should move on. We've got,
right.
I'm very tired. We've got things to do.
Anyway, it's been fairly uneventful as far as anything outside of video games. I have still not mulched the lawn like I wanted to. I need to put gasoline in the lawnmower. I'll get to it eventually. I would like to say I was wrong about the Vampire Survivors DLC. Specifically that I was bitching and moaning about the Castlevania DLC and that there were other DLCs before that. Zabu did let me know that there wasn't any DLC for the Contra one, which I was 100% certain there was, or at least I thought I did.
What do you mean there wasn't DLC? The Contra one was DLC.
Oh, I'm sorry, achievements. Sorry, achievements. That my apologies, that there weren't any achievements for the Contra DLC. I thought there was, and I spoke out of turn. And that is definitely a correction. I did look it up. Yeah, I know. I did look it up for myself. That is 100% correct. There are no achievements for the Contra one as well. To the larger point, it does make sense. I am going to read from this real quick and only take a second from my boy Zabu, if I can possibly find it.
From the book of
during
Zabu.
The show, I think it was Vestlord that was talking about achievements of Castlevania DLC for Vampire Survivors. They don't add achievements for any of their collaborative DLCs because there would be people mad at the inability to 100% the game if those DLCs ever got delisted, which 100% makes sense. Because we just ran into that with the Godzilla stuff that's happening for Dave the Diver. That did not have any DLC, and I was wondering why. That would make sense because it is getting delisted. So since that content won't be in the game or accessible anymore, why would you make achievements around it? Which does suck to an extent, but the content's still there. You can always check it out for yourself. I'm happy that it's there right now. I hope Konami never breaks Ponkel's hearts, and if they do, I'm going to kick them right in the dicks because they've already done so many disservices to us over the year. Konami, that is, not either of you guys. I love both of you. I'm just jerking both of you off all the time. But yeah, as far as Konami goes, they've had a lot of I don't know what I'd call it, bad fan faith, I guess. They've done a lot of things that have rubbed people the wrong way, especially in the Metal Gear category, but also just in a lot of their titles, not giving a lot of love to Silent Hill over the past years, with the current title just coming out being exempt. But how many years was it before we saw another game? It was a pretty long time. So
Konami's terrible.
Yeah,
they're trying to get better now, it seems, but
yes,
I mean, there's the Steph Sterling always did the fuck Konami news. They were one of the worst. They're terrible.
Yeah, so I mean,
they're trying to be less terrible now. So good on them for that.
I think it's a huge show of good faith that they're doing a lot of stuff. They're re-releasing a lot of games. I hope they keep doing it. I hope we get stuff that we haven't seen in a long time. I know we just got the Silent Hill 2 remake. I want to see Silent Hill 1. And I know there's a long story behind why that hasn't happened, but I still want to see it. I want to see it remade. I think it was stupid that we started with 2 first, even though it was the more popular game. That's just me. Yeah, I'm going to turn the floor over to one of you guys. I really don't have that much going on outside of video games because life is very complicated at the moment. But, yeah, I don't know. I'm going to pick one of you. Kris, what's going on with you?
Fuck all. Not much. I did have a lot of fun on a theater near you this week. We recorded that, and it was The Naked Gun, which is one of my favorite movies ever. So I got to rewatch The Naked Gun with some friends of mine.
Such a good fucking movie.
I also rewatched a couple episodes of Police Squad, which hasn't been that long since I watched Police Squad. I think I just did a rewatch of that last year. But the mustache line that you keep bringing up, Dan, that was in Police Squad, right? And that was one they reused in, because it was in 2.5. The mustache line was in Naked Gun 2.5. Because I have never seen 33 1/3, and I always thought that 2.5 was still funny, but it was a big step down from 1. It just because 1 was 1 is so freaking perfect, and it is so stupid but so smart at the same time, and 2 kind of leaned a little bit more into just being stupid. And which again,
it's still funny,
but you can't take away the genius of that mustache line.
Awfully big mustache. So fucking funny.
His delivery is flawless.
So fucking funny.
But just actually getting to sit and watch The Naked Gun, because I've background watched it tons of times over the years. I can't remember the last time I really sat and watched that movie, and it brings me so much joy. And then talking about it with the guys in the show was super fun. Tonight's movie pick was Ellie's pick, and we watched The Descendants, which she's been super into lately.
That's cool. It's like the edgy Disney princess children.
Oh yeah.
Thing.
They're all the kids of Disney villains,
big villains.
So
that's a huge thing now. Yeah.
There was This is from 2015 for crying out loud. I was like, holy shit. The main character was Maleficent's kid, and then there was the Evil Queen's kid. Like, they just didn't name her. She just kept calling her the Evil Queen. Like, really, you're not going to give this woman a name? Like, come on. I get it.
That is her name.
Sleeping Beauty, Evil Queen, or Sleeping Beauty. Was it Sleeping Beauty was the Evil Queen?
Snow White.
I think so. Snow White.
Maleficent is Sleeping Beauty.
Yeah, Sleeping Beauty. And then the other one was Jafar, and then the other one was Cruella de Vil's kid. So, like, Jafar had a kid who was like Jafar had a kid who was basically just like a douchey version of Aladdin, which was kind of a funny premise. And then Cruella de Vil's kid was terrified of dogs. And then met a dog when he like go to the like good people school, and it was like, oh my god, dogs are great. It was super predictable. The music was, pretty garbage, and the acting was just abysmal. The kid who plays like the prince, who is like Belle and Beast's kid, is the blandest white guy you have ever seen in your life. I mean, just wow.
Finn Jones.
Oh my god,
fucking Danny Rand
makes Finn Jones look like Bob Marley. Like, I tell you, this
we jamming.
Well, there's your episode title. Done. You better write that shit down. Makes Finn Jones look like Bob Marley. Oh, shit.
If a saltine could talk, it would be this guy. I just absolutely unbelievable. But yeah, she's been like so super obsessed with this movie and this whole line of movies and all the music for a little while now. And I really thought I was going to just be really petty and roll around on the floor playing with the dogs and make a bunch of loud noise, because that's what she did when we watched Guardians of the Galaxy last week. But I decided not to do that.
So you decided not to act like the 7-year-old? That's very big of you, Chris.
I did, and I deserve a fucking
That's a big
medal.
step. You do.
She's got to learn somehow.
Right.
Damn it. Nah, she got
so I came in and I shit on the couch.
That's right.
Just took a big old dump right on the couch. We've been talking about your tummy issues. Makes sense.
It's my couch. I can do what I want.
That's right. It's not our fucking couch.
Nah, I mean, if we're just talking about non-video game stuff, I mean, really, the only other thing I did this week was continue to try to figure out how to spend my time now that I'm not on social media, and it's been a lot of pick up and play games, and I'm think I'm finding a decent groove, but we'll talk about that more in a bit. What about you, Dan? What have you been up to?
Not too much, man. This week has been like really difficult as far as like pain is concerned. I've kind of been in pain since like Monday night, and it's just kind of there the whole time. So it's made like really anything else difficult, right? And it's like it's a really weird pain, because like it's a combination of like muscular and bone, right? So like the bone pain is there, and it's like this like dull ache that is just there all the time. And then the muscle, Jesus fucking Christ, the muscular pain that is coming now.
In your muscles,
yeah, because you got muscles, Popeye. That is like it feels like somebody is just coming up and like grabbing me by the calf and just squeezing really fucking hard with like something really, really sharp all day. Like, and it's just like my entire leg, my legs and my back, and just it makes trying to have like conversations and do other things like difficult, specifically new things too, right? So what we've tried to do to like assuage some of that is just go back and revisit some things. So like Tiff and I at night have been making our way back through Ted Lasso. Because it's just so fucking good. I'm
thinking about doing that one next. I'm almost done with home movies. Thinking that's going to be the next one. Although I did really start flying into the Dragon Ball radar again.
Sure,
I'm getting close. I've been working on that ever since Toriyama died, and
right.
With Dragon Ball Daima's on now, and that's been a hoot. And I'm getting close to the end of regular Dragon Ball, and I just asked Evan for like every movie, because I forgot to ask him for the movies in the first place, and I'm like, oh shit, there's like 4 Dragon Ball movies I haven't watched.
Yeah,
anyway, sorry. Go on. Ted Lasso, amazing.
It's
Amazing
just
show.
it's
if only somebody
it's
had told you earlier that you should watch that show.
If only nobody ever brought it up.
Watch out for that.
In your living room and said
No.
you need to watch Ted Lasso. You specifically need to watch Ed Lasso. Never
Did
happened.
not happen.
Watch
Never
out
happened.
for that lead Tasso though. He's a guy you don't want to mess with.
You don't want to mess with him.
We just got through the Lead Tasso episode. We actually were
favorite.
this week. We're up to, where did we finish last night? We finished where Jamie fucking rocks his dad in the jaw.
Oh yeah.
And Roy comes up and hugs him. And like I got to tell you, man, I am crying my way through this fucking show this time around. Because like, I mean, there was a lot that hit me the first time that I watched it, you know, specifically stuff with like Ted's dad and the suicide and all of that, like mirrors my own life, you know, like I get that. Right. And that kind of hit me really hard that the first time around. This time around, because my fucking hormone levels are steroided to bejesus and back. I am just blubbering like what you would imagine a fucking like Lifetime movie, like where the girl is watching the movie that makes her cry because that is the scene that has to happen in that particular Lifetime movie, and just the ugly, like I am just ugly crying through this rewatch of Ted Lasso, and I'm fine with it, you know, because the show
watching
is
it like I do.
Yeah, you know, I don't care that I'm crying. It's a different experience, you know, especially like being able to anticipate those things coming. And like Tiff looked over at me and she was like, "Are you fucking crying before the thing even happens?" And I was like, "Yeah, because I know it's gonna." So I'm just like, I'm fucking pre-coming. It's weird. It's a fucking weird way to put it.
From the eyes.
But it, you know, I'm gonna take a drink. Hold on.
I need another beer for this one.
Yeah, so we just got to the part. I still don't like it. I get why it's in there, and like there's a decent enough resolution to it, I suppose, but I just don't like the Sam and Rebecca thing. I don't care for it. I didn't care for it the first time I watched it. I care for it less now. It's just gross.
With you.
It seems a little needless because, like, I thought they were going to explore it more for him and his age, not knowing what to do for someone who is very experienced, and like try to find an in between. But they did not really find a good resolution for that, especially with the husband being so jealous. I really thought something more was going to happen there.
I'm 100% with you, Dan. It always kind of rubbed me the wrong way. Like, I don't get it.
It feels really out of character for both of them.
Yeah.
Like for those two characters in particular, it feels very strange. More specifically from Rebecca's end, knowing like what that character experienced with younger women, you know, being cheated on and all of that. Like it just feels really predatory and gross in a show that is just not really about that, you know. But
I mean, I don't know if that was the intention either, but like, I mean, I got where you're coming from. It was definitely it was weird.
Yeah, it's kind of icky. It has literally nothing to do with the fact that one is black and one is white. Like
no,
that,
it's more an age thing because it's not like
it's the age in her
40s or whatever. Like, you know, she's older.
She's in her late 40s and he's 21.
Wait, she's in her late 40s in the show? I thought she was in her like 50s or 60s.
She might be. I think she's like late 40s, like
okay. All right.
borderline early, because there's the whole pregnancy thing that she goes through later, and like she's like being able to have advantage
of him essentially. Yeah. I do understand the dynamic there because she's very young. Yeah.
It's just. Like I just want to make sure that like
Jamie Tart.
Not that I think any of our listeners are going to be like, perhaps Dan is also a little racist like Dean. Like I don't think that. I don't think, but I want to like clarify that bit. So Tiff and I have been doing that. The kids and I just happened to put it on. Like I was flipping around YouTube, and I saw that they had the Transformers movie.
Oh my god, it's so good.
Was on. So the kids like
You're
happened
gonna have
to
be a little bit more specific.
Like
the original cartoon. Sorry, the original cartoon.
Oh, okay. I mean, yes, that's still great.
It's like there's like 35 Transformers movies now.
Well, no, but when I say the Transformers movie, like I would have said the Michael Bay Transformers or Transformers 1 or, the Transformers movie from like 1988. Yeah, well,
you didn't say that. You didn't say from 1980. I mean, we didn't let you finish either, but I'm gonna let you go now, Bubba.
That one is called... Anyway, so the one that came out when I was a kid, and like... trying to explain to the children, like, as we're watching this movie, and like, it's just the most fucked up movie I think that is ever... like, it's... Optimus turns gray when he dies 24 minutes into the fucking movie. Like, and
yeah,
I
that
didn't
fucked
realize,
me up, man. I was like, why? He's the guy. Why is the guy dying?
It's like, I really paid attention to it this time because, like, I was talking to the kids about it. They were like, "Why are there all of these people? Like, why are all the good guys dying?" And I was like, "Well, they were trying to
for new toys,
yeah, new toys. Like, it's just a toy commercial. Yeah, it's a very long toy commercial,
hour and a half long toy commercial
with just music the entire time, like at the expense of... What's fucked up is that the music is playing and there's song lyrics while there's also dialogue happening.
Yeah.
And like the music is louder than the dialogue. It's fucking weird. But like, I really paid attention to it as we're going through, and it's legit. By 24 minutes into that movie, most of the Autobots, including Optimus Prime, are dead.
Fucked.
And it's like, what the fuck is even happening?
And yeah,
this
and they're
movie
like,
is nuts.
And they're like, "Hey, no name over here that you probably only know if you ever collected the toys. Do you want to be the main guy?" And he says, "Okay," all of a sudden. And then all of a sudden, we're supposed to just buy that Optimus is dead and Rodimus is now the Prime.
Fuck,
that doesn't even sound
Prime.
As good. Rodimus Prime. Get the fuck out of here, bro. It's Optimus.
Dumb.
It's Optimus, bro. He's a
I
giant truck.
fine if it would have stayed with Ultra Magnus. Ultra Magnus was
100%.
fucking dope.
Ultra Magnus was fucking dope.
Rodimus Prime is fucking stupid. It's just... So, like, we were watching that, and then we've been on, like, a Transformers kick. So the kids and I are going to watch Transformers 1 tomorrow, because Tiff doesn't really give a shit. But they're super into it. So, like,
watch Beast Wars?
I'm looking forward to that. I really don't like Beast Wars.
What? What? Why?
It's one of the ugliest shows I've ever seen, and I cannot get past it. I can't.
But that's
it's
not
fucking
its fault.
gross. It's as bad as Donkey Kong Country.
Okay, all right.
It is.
Yeah,
it is.
Season
hang on,
one
though.
is.
Yeah, hang on,
Season
though.
1 is,
yes.
but it has an excuse because of its age. Donkey Kong Country does not have that excuse.
But by 100% in agreement.
But
however,
by season 2 or 3, like that, you can see
solid.
the evolution.
Yeah, for sure.
Getting better on that show. Like you can see the animation improving year after year. Whereas Donkey Kong Country was just like, fuck it, this is good enough.
Dan, all I'm saying is maybe let the kids make their decision about it. You don't have to watch it, but let the kids make their decision.
Don't like it either.
Oh, come on. I need to talk to him. I'm coming over. I'm going to go talk to him. I'm going to bring over the Bible of Beast Wars.
We are fucking Gen 1 Transformers kids in this house. That is how we roll.
Look, I love Gen 1 Transformers, but I also love Beast Wars, especially when it starts tying into that shit even more.
Oh, yeah,
and
dude.
I know there are a lot of folks out there hating on Beast Machines. I thought that shit was fucking brilliant.
I appreciated that it continued, but I was not nearly as big of a fan.
I love it. I gave it a shot at first.
Radicalized Rhinox.
Oh yeah, dude, that was crazy.
Oh my god,
was crazy.
That was like,
as Tank
we finally saved you, and he's like, no, I chose this. We were fucking wrong. You guys are assholes. You're all gonna die. I was, oh my god, this is nuts. And then the fucking Waspinator was there. Like,
yeah, man. Yeah,
oh my god.
It was definitely a
Steve Wozniak was there.
Steve Wozniak was there. Yeah, it was great.
Woz was there.
Or is it Steve? I don't even fucking know. I don't care.
Steve Wozniak, right?
I think it's
Tim,
Steve, right?
Tim,
it was Scott the Woz. That's what it was.
Scott the Woz. No, that's who's the... No, hang on. The Atari guy, Wozniak. What the fuck is his name?
It's not Atari, it's Apple.
Apple, whatever. With his name. Chuck E. Cheese Man.
Yeah, it's Steve.
That's
Steve
Nolan Bushnell.
Steve, there we go. And then there's Scott.
I thought I was right, but
well, no,
Scott.
That's
Steve
the YouTuber.
Jobs and Woz. Steve Jobs, Steve Wozniak.
Okay.
But then there's the Woz guy from YouTube, which you did mention.
Scott the Woz, yes.
Scott the Woz.
Who the fuck is Scott the Woz?
He's a YouTuber. It was a joke.
Don't you worry about it.
Oh, okay.
He's important.
Right, anyway.
Not really, but he's important.
So the only other thing that I've been doing is I've been watching, going back and starting at season 1 of Anthony Bourdain's No Reservations, because I love Anthony Bourdain and I respected the work that he did, and trying to pick whatever country I'm going to move to based on the research that I'm doing through No Reservations. Is really what we're coming down to. Because we've had legitimate talks about that as a family this week, which has been like really weird and heavy to like try and process things without getting too far off the path here, right? But like trying to process what that might look like while undergoing treatment for cancer, because even when I beat this in January and I'm done with my infusions, it's not over. You know what I mean? Like, I still have this port for 2 more years after that. And still considered, a patient in remission, not cure. When we, knock on wood, when we get to that point. So like trying to have those kinds of like seriously heavy conversations while being in an intense amount of pain has been just a really weird mindfuck this week, and I figured I should start doing research, and Anthony Bourdain seemed the way to go about that. So that's the
Dan. I have questions.
That's the other thing. Yes,
mainly about the port in your body.
Yes,
is this to put things in?
Yes,
like I can put
medicine.
Okay. Oh, no. I'd like to put in Monster Energy, just lots of it, and
could.
Like, would it work? Would it work like NOS, like in a car? Would you start going really fast?
I think it might kill me because this goes directly into my heart.
Okay, so we just need to try other chemicals, is what you're saying?
Yeah, I mean,
cocaine. I'm just saying
gravy. Those are
because that's the thing.
Gravy and cocaine. I feel like that's what I'll
take this week. That's what I'll say. I made biscuits and sausage gravy.
I made cocaine.
I made gravy and cocaine.
I did gravy and cocaine for the first time.
The secret ingredient was cocaine.
It got stuck in my nose. It was so sludgy.
Cocaine that was inside of us all along.
I made biscuits and sausage gravy, and it came out fucking great.
That sounds awesome.
The first day, I used the wrong kind of sausage. I was using Italian sausage.
Oh,
it came out kind of greasy, and it was all
breakfast sausage.
Well, what I had in the house.
What kind of sausage do you use? Like a breakfast sausage?
Yeah, well, after the Italian sausage, I was like, okay, this is the wrong flavor. This isn't terrible, but it's not the right flavor.
Right.
And it's a little bit too greasy. So then I got breakfast sausage the next day, and that is when it started coming together. I think my second attempt with the breakfast sausage, I would give it 10 out of 10. I need to make better biscuits. Obviously, from scratch, buttermilk biscuits would be great. I just had the can of Grands, which is, again, it's fine for what I'm doing for making in the morning before the kids go to school. But I was very proud of myself for making biscuits and sausage gravy. It's not that hard. I just kind of assumed it was.
Well, one of the wild things about biscuits and gravy, Tiff makes really, really fucking good biscuits and gravy. Like, it's stupid good. One of the things that I'm always amazed by is that the ingredients to make the biscuits are the exact same ingredients as the gravy, just in a different order. And one of them is gravy and one of them is biscuits. And it's fucking weird, but it's exactly the same ingredients. That is fucking, it's a miracle.
Cooking's awesome, man.
It's why I hate it. I hate it so much, and I refuse to do it. It's gross.
Really?
It's awesome, and I'm so impressed by it. And I'm so worried about gaining weight once I can actually like eat regularly again. Cause like I scroll through TikTok or whatever and it's just fucking pasta and cheesesteaks. Cause like the algorithm, cause that's what I'm stopping on. You know what I mean? So the algorithm is like, oh, send this fat fuck some more cheesesteak things and some more shit about bagels. Like, cause I'm just, I've made fun of you, Kris. about your like weird food thing that you do while we record the podcast. Like you don't look at porn like a normal red-blooded American male. You look at food porn.
Indeed.
But I
haven't done that
get
for
it
a while,
now,
by the way. But yeah,
I get it now.
Oh,
I
food
do.
porn's great
because I can't fucking eat regularly. You know, so like everything. I'm bummed out about the holidays coming up because I love to fucking eat, you know, like Thanksgiving food and Christmas food and whatever. And like, it doesn't taste very good, you know? So I'm very concerned about what is going to happen come, you know, the end of January, beginning of February, when my taste buds like kick back into gear and I'm just like more pasta, shove it into my fucking face, you know? I don't know. We'll see.
There's this great skillet pasta recipe that Karen makes that oh my God, it's so good. It's just like some sort of, it's like a creamish sauce, like a cream sauce, but with penne and a sausage and roasted red peppers and spinach. And oh my God. It's
love
so
roasted red peppers. See, like everything I eat has to be super fucking salted or like super garlicky or super spicy, like, and just so it will like punch through the fucking like funk that my tongue is in currently, which is like frustrating because then everything becomes like very one note, you know? It's just like, this is just hot, like this is just spicy,
right? So since we're talking about food, I'm thinking about doing something a little different with the potatoes at Thanksgiving. And since Dean's going to be there, I would like to get your impression on this. Usually what I do is I make...
Don't leave the potatoes near the fucking bagels, is all I'm saying, if Dean's going to be there.
No, I'm going to make a separate bowl of mashed potatoes just because, you know, I knew it was going to be that kind of party.
I mean, I appreciate it.
But so, like, usually I just make a bowl of, some mashed potatoes. And I make some pretty damn good mashed potatoes. But I was thinking of doing kind of like a... Scalloped potatoes are great, right? Can we all agree that scalloped potatoes are a good time?
Yeah, I agree.
They're all right.
I like them.
Okay. So I was thinking of doing like, I like mashed potatoes more than I like scalloped potatoes. Hands down. Karen's mom likes scalloped potatoes, so I made that for her last year, I think, at one of the family get-togethers, and she was very impressed by it. And I thought they came out really good. However, something that I saw online today made me kind of excited because I wanted to do something a little bit different with the potatoes. One of the things that I had considered was these like almost like potato cakes where you make the mashed potatoes and then you pipe them into like little cookie shapes and you bake them and get a little crust on them. Yeah. And that sounds really awesome. The thing I saw today is you make the mashed potatoes and you make some super like cheddar cheesy mashed potatoes. It looked like they used white cheddar, which actually sounds really good. But you put all that in a pan. And then instead of doing like the full-on scallop potatoes, you just do like, slice them really thin, but then layer them on top and cover them in Parmesan cheese. And so you bake this like dish.
So you got
mashed potatoes on the bottom.
Potato lasagna.
Basically, yeah. You got just mashed potatoes on the bottom and then thinly sliced potatoes lined up like packages of Ritz crackers all over the top.
Don't threaten me with a good time, Chris. That sounds pretty fucking good.
It sounds good, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It sounds all right.
Shut up, Dan. You don't know good right now.
I say it sounds all right. I don't mean it that way.
He's like jerking me off food wise, and you're that sounds all right. Jesus.
No, I'm much more traditional when it comes to like Thanksgiving food.
What you want, like turkey, ham, mashed potatoes.
Potatoes are between a man and a woman.
That's right. That's right. Fucking.
I'll bring 2 mouths.
Put the gravy. Yeah. No, I just like when I sit down. When I sit down for a Thanksgiving meal, there's expectations to be met, and I just save that shit for the week after.
That's all I'm saying. I'm getting at here is like. I also have like there's specific things I want out of my Thanksgiving dinner, and you can get fancy with pieces of the Thanksgiving dinner, but I'm probably not going to eat that stuff. So I wanted to come up with like scalloped potatoes. That's not what I'm after. Mashed potatoes have to be incorporated in the meal. That's my thing. It's got to be turkey, stuffing, mashed potatoes, and biscuits and gravy. These are all things that need to be incorporated into this meal. So the reason I brought up
corn
that specific
surprise
one,
and yams.
Yeah, see, that's Karen's. She does the corn pudding. She's got a whole corn pudding recipe thing. Cranberry sauce, not into it either, but that's a thing that's other people's. For my personal thing, it's those
see, me and Kris are on the same boat. I like what he's putting down.
A gravy boat. But the reason I was talking about that one in particular is that recipe in particular is because it still satisfies the mashed potatoes, right? Because mashed potatoes, there's like an inch of that at the bottom, but it just also happens to have crunchy potatoes on the top of it. So like, this is the question, right? Do I try to get fancy and incorporate this, or do I just stick with mashed potatoes and call it a day?
I mean, do you think
do both?
Well, no, because he's already making the mashed well, I guess you could do both. Dan's right. Dan I
have to do one bowl of regular mashed potatoes for Dean to fuck. We're not
I'm already making the fuck potatoes, obviously. That's so I'm already going to be there.
I guess what you could do, Kris, is you could just make
skin on or off, Dean. Just out of curiosity.
And I like it rough. I need a little bit of, I got to feel what's going on in there. Anyway, I feel that
you let him grow some other nubs out of the top there, so you got something to hold on to.
Jeez, I'm never going to live this down. I think you could just make enough mashed potato, and again, it's all about what you're willing to do. I think mashed potatoes are fine, but if you wanted to make enough to please everyone, just in case, it's specifically your kids. Like, are your kids going to eat
No, they're not going to eat any of this stuff. They're not going to eat mashed potatoes. They're not going to eat anything.
Okay,
John's going to have chicken nuggets. Maybe Ellie will have turkey this year.
I don't feel as bad then.
Nuggets.
Okay. I mean, if it's just between us, then I feel like Lursalita, I know that for a fact because we eat just about anything in this house. But I mean, if you're willing for like a throwing down for like a little Iron Chef scallop potato lasagna thing, I'm willing to see it happen.
Interesting.
Here's
the other wrinkle. One of the reasons I love making mashed potatoes for family-style meals is that several years ago, I was out at an antique store, and I found a serving dish that is a potato.
Oh, all right.
Now, if I make the scallop potato thing, I can't use the potato serving dish.
Yeah. Oh, I gotta say, Larissa is a big fan of stuff like that. Like, if she got to the bottom of the mashed potatoes and she saw a potato, she'd probably die.
It's a giant. It's a serving dish that is shaped and colored like a potato.
Oh, that's even better.
It's got a lid and everything. Like it says, here's a potato.
Wow.
This is what the potatoes go in. It's a masterpiece.
That's awesome. I gotta say. I don't know, man. What you said sounds very good. Like that sounds like a lot of work. I don't want to put that on you.
Yeah, because I'm also probably making dinner rolls from scratch again. So I've already got a decent amount on me. I want to make an attempt at the gravy this year. Karen has made this gravy for the last several years that is fine, but it is not what I think of when I think of turkey
gravy. Good thing she doesn't listen to this podcast.
Okay. She's heard me say this before. She knows exactly how I feel about it. It's good. It's tasty stuff, but it's purple. It's the strangest thing.
It's purple?
It's purple. I believe because she makes it with wine. It's a very strange thing.
Yeah.
I want brown, floury gravy. Like, that's what I want.
Okay.
And if she will allow me to this year, I would like to take a swing at making said gravy. Gravy has been this weird point of contention, right? My grandmother used to make gravy, and she did a very good job at it. My mom has never been able to make it. And Karen's made this like purplish gravy for years, and she's usually taking the lead. Like, she's the one who's in charge of the turkey because I cannot be trusted with cooking a turkey. I cooked a turkey exactly once in my life, and I gave myself food poisoning.
Oh, God.
It was fucking delicious, but I gave myself food poisoning because Karen and I ate the top part of the turkey, which was cooked for dinner, and then afterwards, I'm putting away and picking at it, and oh no, this part of the turkey is not quite so cooked, and then I was cooked. It was a bad, bad time.
You gotta get a fucking roaster, man.
I want to deep fry a turkey one of these days, but that's dangerous.
That does sound nice. Yeah, but you've seen all those videos just like I have. That shit looks scary.
Yeah, I have. That would be a problem for me. Anyway, it's all going to be delicious, but I would really like to take a swing at the gravy. I'm going to do the potatoes. I'm going to do the dinner rolls. She's going to do... God, she makes such great stuffing. I really hope she does. She's made a handful of great stuffings over the years, but the one that she tends to settle on is this like really great apple bacon stuffing. This is... it's so good. It's so good. Anyway.
Yeah, see, I'm not going to enjoy any of this. I'm going to sit down at Thanksgiving dinner, and it's just going to be the four of us, or it might even just be me. I might make, like, Tiff and the kids go over to my aunt's house, and I'll just sit there, and I'll get, like, a fucking Hungry Man turkey dinner.
Dan, I swear to God, if you're having a Hungry Man turkey dinner alone on Thanksgiving, we're calling you, and you're going to eat it in front of us.
That's fine. I just,
Zoom
I'm going to be
fucking dinner.
I'm going to be miserable and I can't taste anything. You know what I mean? Like, why do I got to bring other people down? It's fine.
I mean,
put a bunch of hot sauce on it.
We're down all the time on a podcast anyway. Might as well just do it on Thanksgiving. Well, we record it, Dan. It's fine. We'll get Evan to come in Thanksgiving. No big deal. We'll pay him extra.
Yeah, we'll dip into the coffers. You gotta start selling those shirts.
Whatever he's earning right now, we'll double it.
That's right. You fucking get yourself a nice old Christmas bonus.
Oh boy,
big bag of zero.
It's a Chili of the Month Club. Oh, it's the gift that keeps on
giving the whole year round. Oh, that's another thing that we do. I mean, I don't know how long Dean's staying. I don't know if you guys are staying the night or what, but after Thanksgiving dinner, we always watch Christmas Vacation. So that's a thing that's probably
I love Chevy Chase. He's a well, I was going to say he's a great man. He's a great actor. He's a terrible fucking human being.
Yeah, whatever you do,
person.
Don't watch Modern Problems. Just do yourself that fucking favor right now.
Yeah.
You say that, and then I immediately want to know more about what the fuck you're talking about.
Listen to the last episode of A Theater Near You. It was our M pick. And we were like,
fucking shill.
It's an old Chevy Chase movie that we don't know of.
I'm looking at the
how
cover.
Bad could this be?
Yeah.
Oh, it can be bad. It can be very, very bad.
He's really the only big star in this, because I'm looking at everything else, and I know Brian Doyle Murray as Bill Murray's brother, but that's about it. That's the only other person I know in that whole group. All right, well, I'll stay away from it for sure.
Yeah, do that. That's a good plan. It's a terrible fucking movie.
Damn, all right.
Still mad about that movie.
On Chase's part? On just everything?
Everyone involved in that movie should be ashamed of themselves.
Fair. I understand. I guess we should just keep chugging forward, right?
Yes, let's talk about video games and stuff.
All right. Fuck it, let's go in the same order. I don't know if I've been doing too much. Boy, let me see. I was on last week. We talked about not Vampire Survivors, Deep Rock Galactic Survivor. I'm still fucking doing that. I actually managed to beat a difficulty. I got an achievement for it. Then I got another achievement, and now I got my my confidence back, and now I feel like I can do anything. So I don't know, maybe another week or two, and I'll be done with that game. Just something. You ever have one of those moments, just nothing's working for you, something clicks all of a sudden, and then everything's easy again after that? Yeah, just that fucking happened. I figured out what I needed to do, and all of a sudden it's smooth sailing forward. Yeah, I don't... I feel bad saying this. I don't want to play any more of that game. I really just want to complete what I need to complete and be done with it. And it's only because I've put in 135 hours of what is essentially just the same thing over and over and over again. No person.
A lot of hours.
Deep Rock Galactic Survivor. It's basically Vampire Survivors with like a very nice coat of paint. It's modeled after all the characters from Deep Rock Galactic, which is like a very big what do they call those things? Extraction shooters. It's basically a bunch of dwarves mining stuff and fighting alien bugs. And it's a very interesting mix of trying to mine the resources versus trying to hold off all the hordes that would normally happen in a Vampire Survivors game. At first it was super easy, and then the further I got in the difficulties, it's gotten worse. And like I said, just the past couple weeks have been really, really tough on me because I really don't want to play it anymore. But I'm like 6 achievements away from finishing it, and like, if I'm that close, I'm not going to leave it undone. I just want to get through it, especially because I have completed every single Survivors game that I have set out to complete. I've completed Bounty of One, I've completed Vampire Survivors, and I've completed 20 Minutes Till Dawn. I've also completed Road Defense Survivors. So that is 4 games I have put way too much time into to complete them, because I don't know, like, how many, do you guys know how many hours you've put into Vampire Survivors?
I don't pay attention.
I have no idea. It's probably
innumerable.
A lot.
Yes, yeah. So once I completed that game, it was close to 120, 115 hours around there, and like, that's enough. I am done and through. I still play the DLCs when they come out, but like, it really takes a long time to complete these sort of games because there are so many achievements in many of them, and a lot of them have like a difficulty cap where if you're not willing to put in the time, you're just not going to beat the fucking game. Vampire Survivors is kind of a different beast, but the other Survivor games that I've sort of played have definitely had more of a like difficulty to them. So yeah, I mean, only get into these if you're willing to put in the time, because I'm about done with that one. Besides that, what else has there been?
Can you check your Switch playtime online, or do I have to have my Switch to do that?
I think you have to have your Switch to do that. And
I'm very curious what it would say.
Yeah.
It's not precise. I know it's like
it'll
X amount of hours or more.
Yeah, but it's at least like a general idea of what you've done. There was something else. There was something that came out with the. Oh no, I did. I beat a run of Metal Slug Tactics. I don't know if I did that last time I was here. I completed a full run of the game.
I think last week you had just gotten it.
Okay,
I don't think
all right, yeah. So it's still awesome. I think that game is gonna be for people who want something like Into the Breach, because that is way more of what it's resembling than something like Final Fantasy Tactics or Persona Tactics or any of those games. There is a story going on. There is a lot of character development going on, but you have to play and beat a large chunk of the game to really get any of that. So if you're looking for something that is more just like a bit longer of a game with like an actual, story that's going to play out in front of you, this is not that game. This is very much like a challenge arcadey sort of roguelike strategy RPG, which is a lot of genres, I know, but that is honest to God the best way to describe it. It is many things. But I'm excited to keep progressing in it. You do not get the completion to the story on the first playthrough, which I kind of thought was going to be the idea. It seems like if you go in further difficulties or just even keep playing the game, you start figuring out more about like what characters are going to be introduced. It seems like it's not just the weapons or the bosses that you're presented with the first time. There could be other ones. I don't know that for sure, but that's just the way the game's presenting itself right now, that there's a lot more that I haven't uncovered yet. I did get to unlock a few more characters in the game. They've all been really neat. I kind of wanted them to be a little bit more varied. I thought they were going to be. It definitely seems like a lot of them have the same kits that overlap, just with different skins for the weapons. But I don't I don't know that for sure. I haven't unlocked everything. And even though that some of the weapons seem samey, the characters' abilities don't really seem all that identical to each other. So, you know, there's still some differences in the classes and whatnot. I'm currently trying to do a full run with, like, these new characters I unlocked to get those achievements. Besides that, I don't think I'm going to beat it anytime soon. It does seem to be like a very in-depth game that requires multiple runs to beat. And I'm not guaranteed to beat all that stuff every single time. It's a difficult game that you have to think about where you're moving constantly. And if you're not using all of the mechanics to the fullest of their ability, you're definitely going to fall behind. With that being said, we're going to keep going with it. I still think people should pick it up. I think it's like $25. I think it's a little expensive for $25, but it's definitely going to go on sale. And when it does, that's when I think most people should pick it up. I also downloaded the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles game that is a roguelike, but I haven't played it yet. I'm very much looking forward to that, but, you know, you just got to beat some things before you can move on to something else, so I got to at least beat something before I can go on to a new game. As far as any other business, I played a little bit more Call of Duty. That was fine. It's Call of Duty. Like I said, there's nothing to hate there. It's free on Game Pass. I don't know how you guys feel. I'm sure Kris would probably feel that there's no necessity to buy a Call of Duty game anytime soon. But, like, it's $70. Like, $70 is a lot of money for what is largely the same thing that it's been for God knows how long. I know
that's a lot of nuts.
Yeah, that's a lot of nuts. And
you want fries with that, baby?
I would argue that Call of Duty is one of the few games, though. Like, if you're into Call of Duty, you get your $70 worth.
But is it because you want, like, it goes back to, I don't want to get too far into it, but like Madden or 2K, and maybe not to the same extent, but it's the same gameplay. There is obviously different content in there. This time there was a single player, but Call of Duty has gone the route before of only including online and then just being like, here you go. Yeah, no, it's new. It's what you wanted. Like, you're shooting people, but you know, it's the same game it was when Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare first came out. And people are going to argue with me, yeah, there's tons of shit that's different quality of life or whatever, but it's still the same first-person shooter it was when it released. The zombies have been great, but it's just zombies. Like, I've been having fun. We successfully did an extraction not too long ago with a few of my friends, and that was really cool, and I'm not gonna lie, that kind of scratched that itch for me. I don't think I need to go back to it. I've played a few online matches with them, but that's not why I'm there, man. Like, some guy grabbed me because you can take hostages now if you sneak up on people, and he started whispering like sweet nothings in my ear, and I was like,
that's gross.
Yeah, that's weird.
That's kind of awesome, but yeah, it's gross.
I took off the headset. I was like, no, I'm gonna wait till he just murders me, and I'll put the headphone back on. But yeah, like, weird shit like that. And I think, honestly, I just don't think I'm built for online games anymore, or for the social aspect of it, because I want nothing to do with strangers. I don't want to talk to them. I don't want to hear them. I swear to God, if I could take off any sort of inclination that there were humans in there with me, I fucking would. Because
I've never ever played with a headset.
I mean, like, I have one, ever. And because
just
of my,
asking for trouble.
Because of my living situation, I have a headset so I can hear the game and not have to have the volume.
Well, then
up
just
my
turn the
television.
fucking chat off.
Yeah, but
you talk about your wife that way, Dan?
Yeah, that's right. Turn that bitch off.
That's the other thing.
Bitch, go to bed. I'm trying to play some Call of Duty.
They added a whole shit ton of like options and menus and stuff. It is really hard to get around any of those screens. Like, there are way too many options. For instance, if you bought the full version of that game for $70, it came with like 6 full games. It came with like all the Modern Warfare stuff they've been packing in with like the past 2 games that come with what do you call it? The hide and seek bullshit, all that. Like, that came with it. I think you got another version of Modern Warfare, and then you got the Warzone stuff, the zombie stuff, which is separate, online, and the campaign. Those are all different options, and there is a menu for that where you can select all of it, and it is like 15 to 20 options. There is way too much shit on that screen for me for just the Black Ops 6. I opened up Black Ops 6. If I opened up Black Ops 6, that doesn't mean I want to play Modern Warfare 2. It means I want to play Black Ops 6. If I wanted to play Modern Warfare 2, I would have opened up Modern Warfare 2. Or you should at least given me the option on my fucking game selection screen to open up Modern Warfare 2. But no, to open up Modern Warfare 2, I need to open up Black Ops 6. Because it's apparently a fucking operating system for all other Call of Duty games now. I mean, because that makes fucking sense. Like, I haven't loved Call of Duty for a long time. I figured I'd try this because it's free. Have I had a lot of fun? Yes. Do I have my problems with the game? I think it's obvious. Yes. And I also think I'm just not the core audience anymore. I will absolutely 100% acknowledge I'm not the core audience. This is for kids that are probably younger than me or people that are really into Call of Duty. I am neither of those audiences. So this is probably the last time you're going to hear me talking about the game. I will likely go back to Space Marine 2 because the Warhammer universe is a lot more like interesting to be in than like just fake America stuff. Like, all that Black Ops stuff, that just makes me really fucking depressed.
Gotta love COD Blops.
Yeah, gotta love COD Blops. No, I mean, if anyone hasn't played the Space Marine games, those are fucking awesome sci-fi stuff. And the last game was really, really good. It's also $70, so for anyone that's on a budget, it's probably not for you, but it's likely going to go on sale before COD Blops will.
All right, then.
Yeah, that's all I got for that. So where'd I go last time? I went with Kris. I'm gonna throw it up a little bit. Dan, what have you been playing?
Not too much this week. That's different. I did spend a decent chunk of time with the Pokemon mobile game because Snap is
you were talking about it a little bit.
I quite like it. It's really good.
It's not bad.
It's definitely it's definitely a more streamlined version of Pokemon. Because like I played with the kids and whatnot, and like I love trading card games. Played Magic and Pokemon and Yu-Gi-Oh and all that shit when I was younger. But it's really good. It's really well done. It's easy to get into. It makes a lot of sense. Like there's a lot of stuff with trading card games that like you can just get bogged down in the weeds, and like Pokemon is pretty much the most simple of all of the trading card games that have come out, right? Like it's pretty basic. Magic is so far into the fucking weeds at this point with all the different shit you can do. It's just insane. Where Pokemon has always kept it relatively simple because its primary audience is hooking audience, new children. Yeah. So this app takes that formula and kind of streamlines it even further, which is really nice. Like the games are quick, they're fun. I've had a lot of success with a Nidoking or Nidoqueen deck.
I heard that's either one of those. Deck. Yeah,
get out. It's pretty good. I have hit the point though where like I see the monetization behind it because at this point now, like 2 weeks into the game or a week and a half or whatever, when I open up a pack of cards, I am very rarely getting new shit.
New cards, yeah, that happened to me.
You know,
yeah,
it
sucks.
But that's,
I mean, yeah,
that's the point of the game, though, right? Yeah. Is that now I'm here, so it's like, well, I could spend money and I could buy Poké Gold, so I could open more packs and eventually get those cards that I'm chasing, which I'm just like not interested in. You know what I mean? Like
that's fair. Yeah,
I play with the kids. You know, we open packs of cards. They have their own accounts. Like we play against each other. But it's really fun. Like if you're curious at all about Pokemon or trading card games or whatever, like for sure, give it a shot because you can compete and have an incredibly satisfying experience with no money spent at all.
Yeah, and I mean, like, you don't even need good cards. You could just build something off of, like, very basic stuff. That would probably work fairly well, at least for the first, like, few hours of the game.
Oh, for sure. And, like, there's definitely stuff coming down the pipeline that they've talked about. Like, they're going to open up trading of cards, which will be kind of awesome, you know, because I've got a ton of fucking, like, these foil, like, full art Dragonites. I've got 7 of them. Why? I don't know why. I don't fucking need 7 of them, you know, but like I'll trade that for like an Arcanine EX or some bullshit that my kid has a couple of, you know, so that'll be cool when that comes out. There's a couple things I'd like to see them implement of like deck sharing is just not an option. And the way that they have the decks laid out, in the app, it's just not conducive to like even taking a picture to share the deck. So if you want to, you know, talk about it or be like, hey, I'm playing this Nidoking deck. Here are the cards. Let me type them all out for you. Like, I'm not going to fucking do that. You know, I'll just figure it out. Watch a YouTube video would be my suggestion. So I'd like to see them kind of implement some stuff like that. I don't know how long I'll stick with it. I don't play it a ton. But I have put a decent amount of time into it during the week, and I also started fucking around with Pacific Drive, which plays really well on the Steam Deck. It's really nice. It's a little complicated. There's a lot you got to do, and my hand doesn't work. My right hand doesn't work as well as I would like it to at the moment, so that's made some of the just mechanics of it a little bit more difficult, but the game is really fucking cool. I'm super into the story.
Which one was that? Sorry?
Pacific Drive.
Pacific Drive. Where you're just taking care of the car, basically, and you're in like the excursion zone, and like just all this weird shit is happening, and there's, you know, like as you're making your way through, you find this old beat up car. Like you're driving to start, you're in your car. And you get into the zone and shit comes off the rails in a big bad way, and you end up like crashing your car, and your car is totaled, so you got to find a new one. And as you're walking around, you start to hear a radio and people talking, and like it's just this really like interestingly desolate area that you're in with all of this weird shit going on, like all these weird anomalies kind of happening around you, and then you hear these people talking, and like that's how the story is being delivered. And you got to start finding parts for the car, and like you find older cars and you siphon gas out, and like it's all this kind of like resource management shit that I'm usually not into, but it's just laid out really well in this game, and the story is cool and the atmosphere is really cool, and I'm really digging it so far. So I'm kind of pushing through that right now, while, you know, the Castlevania DLC for fucking Vampire Survivors is just absurd. I love everything about it. It's so fucking fun. I think that's it. Yeah. I think
there is so much to that Castlevania DLC.
There really fucking is. Like I'm not even halfway through it. I unlocked. Who the fuck did I unlock? With the who's got the fucking crazy weird whip? Sophia? Is that it? Sophia Belmont? Sonia Belmont. Sonia? Sorry. Fuck.
All right, I think I might be a little ahead of you.
She's got DLC, the crazy blue whip.
Yeah.
Like it just comes out and wiggles like a fucking snake.
barfs dragons out. Is that the one, or is there a different one?
No,
out?
Different one.
Wiggly Whip. Wiggly Whip is Castlevania 4.
Yeah, no, but like
in
it's
Vampire
like,
Survivors, she
in
has
Vampire Survivors, like she's got this long blue whip
horizontal that just goes up and down really
it's
quick.
Fucking wild. It's so insane. Like, it's so fun, and Alucard's super fun. It's just really fucking good.
Oh my god, Alucard's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Alucard's insane. You get a second meter with Alucard, and once it fills up, he does Soul Steal.
Yeah.
I wish he yelled it, which makes me sad that I don't hear Soul Steal every time he does it, but it's just like, this isn't fair. And his weapon, like, levels up. Have you leveled
absurd?
Have you leveled it all the way up to the shield yet?
No.
Once you get the shield, what the shield does is it absorbs all of your existing weapons. So if you've maxed out a bunch of weapons, it takes all of them, so you get to keep them. They keep going, but it frees up all the slots again.
Oh, shit.
So you can just get more weapons on top of it. It's
Jesus Christ.
ridiculous. He's absurd.
That's absurd. How do you do that in a half hour? I guess you could turn the time off.
I mean, Mad Groove really is my answer, because I've been playing specifically with the timer on and on both a hyper mode and the two speed up modes, because I just don't have that much time to dedicate to playing it in a single sitting. And I always start with Mad Groove, because every 2 minutes you get everything on the stage sucked towards you. So it's like kind of a double-edged sword, because you also have the Metaglios and the rings, and if you touch those, then those little floaty cape-wearing bastards will show up, and they take a bunch of your time to kill, but once you do kill them, you get eggs, and that helps level you up. But the Mad Groove is just what helps me level up everything, because I suppose you don't miss any gems. But then I've gotten a bunch of Darkanas that are just two in particular. I don't remember what they're called, but one of them makes the candy boxes and the armoires appear randomly whenever you level up. Nice. Sometimes, and it's like, that's perfect, because I can get whatever passive weapon I need, or get whatever regular item if the candy box shows up. But it also makes like the fingers show up, where like everything goes insane, and you get like the more enemies you kill, the bigger bonuses you get. It's a really cool one. And the other one makes bosses appear every minute, like unique bosses, basically these floating eyeball bosses. Yeah, they show up every minute, and those treasure chests you get from those bosses can give you just new passive items. Like, sometimes they'll be regular, but sometimes they'll be like, oh, you didn't have the hollow heart before, you do now, congratulations. Didn't matter if you have a slot open or not, they just add it to your loadout, which is fucking great.
That's awesome. Yeah.
No, that's been what I've been using for most of it. So I guess it's just a way to segue into what I've been doing. Is obviously most of what I've been playing this week is the Vampire Survivors DLC, because I'm trying to get through it, because I have to review it, and I've encountered a glitch that there seems to be. I noticed that Ponsel said on Twitter on the 31st when it came out, we've noticed that we're hearing reports of glitches in the Switch version. We're working on it. They haven't patched it yet. So I got who did I get last night? It was Christopher Belmont, and the when you go to the whatever they're called, the missions, not missions, the secrets that you unlock, not the ones that you enter codes in or whatever. It's the regular unlocks. It said survive 15 minutes with Christopher, and that's how you unlock Simon. It's like, okay, cool. So I played through a round with Christopher, and I evolved his weapon, and nothing happened. And I'm like, well, that's not right. And then so I did, like, I played another round, and I played another round and tried again, and it didn't work. And so I looked it up, and I was like, Simon Belmont Switch glitch, and they're like, yeah, there's something weird is preventing people from actually completing the DLC. And then I just moved on to the next thing, and I tried unlocking another thing, and I wound up unlocking Simon, even though that's not how you unlock him. So I was like, okay, well, this is certainly going to be interesting. But whatever gets me there. So I'm going to keep going. I'm hoping that it gets patched out soon, because I really want to get through to the ending of it, because from what I've come to, I haven't been spoiled yet, but from what I've come to understand, making it to the end of this DLC is really fun and funny. Apparently, I'm
sure it's great.
Richter is just supposedly beyond broken in the best possible way. So I'm very, very excited about that.
Yeah. Yeah, it's really fucking outstanding. Like, what they have done with that DLC is just crazy.
Like, the other ones have been great. Like, the Contra one and the...
No, it's awesome.
They've been super clever, super creative. I just could not be happier with them. This is like a full-on other game. This is
it really
next
is.
level. This is really... the amount of content there is frankly absurd and almost insulting.
Yeah. For
Fucking
whatever... no game delivers more value than fucking Vampire Survivor.
Yeah, it's probably the best value I've ever seen. It's
really legitimately insane.
I think you're selling Bubsy short.
How fucking great that is. Too short?
Bridge too short, maybe.
More like a bridge too short. Thank you, Bubsy.
That's right.
All right, let's see what else I've been up to. Vampire Survivor is a big one. I've been playing more Volcano, which has been fun. That's the like word puzzle game from the Dadish guy. That's been my morning routine. Did I talk about Brain Age last week? Trying to buy the Brain Age?
No, I don't think so. Anyway,
so I was sitting there on the can in the morning, thinking to myself, you know what I used to do a long time was I'd play Brain Age in the morning. That was good for me. There's a Brain Age on Switch. I should get that, but it's only available in Europe. I have a European account. Hooray! So I forgot to follow up on that email this morning. I'm glad I thought of that. So I went to try to purchase it on the eShop
Europe
and
just in general.
Europe.
Hello, Europe. This is Kris.
What's up, Europe? So I went to go to purchase it on the eShop, and I can access it, but I can't purchase anything on the European eShop because of my credit card. Is like, no, you can't buy things from this region.
You're in America.
Okay. Fuck you then. So I go online and I go to Play Asia and I say, and they sell European eShop cards. Like, if you want to buy something on the European eShop, you buy this European eShop card and that'll do the trick. And then I entered it and it says, no, you can't do that. It doesn't work in your region. And I'm like, well, what the fuck does that mean? Like, well, what region does it work in? So I tried using it on the North American one and that didn't work either. I'm like, well, okay, well, now I'm really confused. And then just reminded me now that they got back to me. It says, greetings from Play Asia. This is a follow-up email in regards to your order. We confirm that the code will not work in your country due to the country's restrictions. With this, here is what we can propose. The code will be deleted from your order and added back to our stock. We will let other customers buy the code. Once sold and no issues will be reported after 5 days from the date of purchase, we will contact you for the refund. The wait time is unknown.
I will slap... I want to slap them for you. What the fuck kind of bullshit is that? Like, someone has to buy that specific code for you to get your money back. That is the dumbest... Oh, my God.
Yeah,
oh, my God.
But, like, I don't understand... Where is it supposed to be used then?
Right, like why'd you advertise it then?
It's a European eShop card. I want to know. I just want to know why it didn't work.
Right.
Like, yes, I want my money back, but I also want to know why it didn't work.
They're not going to tell you. I mean, they probably don't even know.
They don't know.
Yeah.
That's why they didn't tell you.
Yeah, that's why they fed you a line of bullshit.
I just want to buy Brain Age for the Switch. I just want to buy Brain Age for Switch.
We want you to buy Brain Age for the Switch, but you know who doesn't? Play Asia, those motherfuckers.
No, it isn't. It's Nintendo. Otherwise, they would have released it in North America.
Look, you don't know the relationship that Play Asia has with Nintendo. I think they're in cahoots, Chris. I think that someone's trying to sabotage you. Yeah. They don't want you playing Brain Age. They don't want your brain getting any bigger, Chris. They can't handle that.
I like the word cahoots. Anyway, so that's been a pain in my ass. Since I can't play Brain Age, I have been playing more levels of Hatch Tales, which continues to be exactly as fine as it's fine.
It's fine.
Your level of math for that is like it's giving me purpose right now, because like I feel like you want to just dig into that so hard, but like it's just fucking fine.
Like that's the thing. I've been playing.
Defeated.
You know, when I'm in the bathroom and I don't have the Switch with me, I'll still turn on Totes the Goat. Like, Atui made good games. And Chicken Wiggle was a good game. And this just is exactly what I didn't want it to be. They sucked all the fun and joy out of it. You're running around as this angry-eyed bird. And I don't know, man. It's
yeah.
my biggest problem with it is that the way it's designed, like the actual moment-to-moment gameplay is one thing, but the way the game is designed is you have to find these secrets by pixel hunting. It's like NES Metroid. There's nothing pointing to it and saying this is where a secret might be. There isn't even like an extra pixel of something on a wall. It's just like you have to check every wall to see if it's a fake wall to walk through to find the thing that you're missing. It's really obnoxious. It's obnoxiously designed. It's not well made.
We've moved past that.
Exactly. Games in general don't need to do this anymore. And the fact that
because it's not fucking fun.
There's not many of them, but there are a handful of like. There's a 10 out of 10 review for this game out there. Like, there's a couple of websites that have reviewed this extraordinarily well, and I'm like, what the fuck is wrong? What are you playing?
Because well, I mean, that's like that Tallarico bullshit, you know, when the Miko came out. There are all sorts of people sucking his dick. I'm sure there's people in this guy's, like, good faith, too, you know, just not willing to look at the actual game for what it is.
I'm not okay with it.
I mean, that's completely understandable because, like, well, what the fuck? It's not a perfect game. 10 out of 10 that, like, You're lying at that point. You're just straight lying to people at that point.
If you think this game is worthy of a 10, then you are just out of your fucking gourd.
It just doesn't make any sense.
No, that's fair.
It really doesn't. It just really doesn't. So, let's see. I also tried out some of the Atari 50 DLC. It is exactly as good as the other Atari 50 stuff so far. I forget the game. There was one really interesting game I played with a bunch of submarines. I thought that was really neat. And the Atari VCS apparently had an update at some point because I, for the first time in a while, I was down here in the basement. I turned on the VCS and I played Yars Recharged, and the intro sequence showed up. You know, ever since I got the game on the VCS itself, the intro sequence, you just hear the sound, but it's a blank screen. But the intro sequence actually showed up, and as I was playing the stage that I had been stuck on for a while, the little bomb things that float up and then explode out to a whole bunch of different shots, you can shoot them and they'll disappear, which they patched that out for some dumb reason. So I'm wondering if the stage that was like, one of the weapons, they changed the way that worked, which made the stage that I was stuck on for the longest time just legitimately impossible. I'm wondering if that's fixed too, but that's pretty much what I've been up to. Good stuff all around. And with that, we are going to take ourselves a quick break. When we come back, we've got a little bit of week-old news to talk about, and then we're going to talk about Pac-Man. You're listening to the Stone Age Gamer podcast from Geekade.com. Stick around. And now here's a quick look at what's new from us and our partners at Geekade.com.
First up, in an all episode, I don't know if it's new or not. It's just all an episode. It's all episode all the time, baby. All gas, no brakes. Of a theater near you. Sean, Paul, and Kris. Sean Paul. It's not actually Sean and Paul. It is the singer Sean Paul and Kris. Join the police squad for some absurd comedy and brutalization of O.J. Simpson. Yes, following the unmitigated disaster that was last month's Chevy Chase vehicle, Modern Problems, they actually watch a good comedy in The Naked Gun. Does it stand the test of time? Will we ever see an extended cut that incorporates all the cutscenes they included in the TV edit? We'll find out in a theater near you, episode 46, The Naked Gun.
There's really good scenes that they cut out of that movie, but there's also a lot of really bad ones that they cut out of that movie.
Yeah, it's just a great movie, though. It's just a good, funny fucking movie.
It really is. Absolutely holds up. Next, on this month's episode of this week's episode, Evan, Angie, Karen, and myself talk about Agatha All Along, the latest Marvel show. Sure, it's all the rage to poo-poo on Marvel these days, but did this witchy spookfest put the brand on the right track? I don't know, because we haven't recorded the episode yet. We record this Thursday, which for you either happens in a few days or happened yesterday, unless you're listening to this in the future, and if that's the case, how are things? Actually, never mind. I don't want to know. Regardless, you should listen to this week's episode, episode 282. It doesn't have a title yet, because it hasn't happened yet.
I really liked Agatha All Along.
Me too.
Stumbles a little bit at the end, but not like
say they nailed the ending, but they did certainly
not
didn't
devastatingly so.
They didn't fumble the ball, They didn't, trip over their dicks and poop their pants and die of a stroke.
No.
But, they...
much in the way that Secret Invasion did, but...
Oh, Secret Invasion.
Oh, boy. Finally, Kris. Vegas. Who doesn't love gambling? I mean, I fucking love gambling. There's a very, very good reason. I'm sure you are. There's a good reason I do not go to casinos. Because I just... Boy, do I love it. I just walk in there and I'm like, yep. Taking my pants off. What better place to throw your money away than Las Vegas? Well, Nintendo knows this, which is why their gambling simulator, VGAS Stakes, because it's a capital V and a capital E in what I'm reading. So there's Vegas or VGAS? What do you think, Kris?
VGAS.
VGAS Stakes was such a phenomenal Vegas success. After all, who could say no to a video game about gambling without the thrill of actually losing your money on a game of chance? Nobody! That's who. So sit yourself down and learn more about this beloved 16-bit classic in the SNES podcast, episode 245, Vegas Stakes.
For all this and more, be sure to... Oh, God, I don't know.
Go to Stone Age Gamers. Go to geekade.com.
Listen more from us and our partners. Keep your eyes on geekade.com.
There you go.
I wrote the commercials, then I realized I didn't fix that last line, and my brain just stopped. It was over.
For all this and more.
Nope. Game over. Everybody, we are back. Let's go over real quick what's new at Stone Age Gamer. Last week was the Magenta Friday sale, which means when you're listening to this, we will be smack dab in the middle of our Purple Friday sale, which is the last one we do before we get to Black Friday. The big one, the hairy one, the stinky one, the big one. We're also taking pre-orders on the Retro Fighters, the Hunter for Xbox. They have a new crystal version, which is very snazzy looking. We just opened pre-orders for that. And that's what's new at Stone Age Gamer this week, which means it's time for my favorite segment, your favorite segment, everyone's favorite segment. Strap your balls in for week-old news.
Whoa.
Are
we talking about that now?
Hole.
I just... Wow.
Hi, everyone. Welcome
Big
to
Bagel or Tiny Balls? One of the two.
We talk about all the news that was new a week ago. Oh, boy. What was that episode title? It was Someone Looks Like Bob Marley. I've already forgotten.
Who fucking makes what the fuck's his name? Finn Jones look like Bob Marley.
Bob Marley, yep.
God damn, that's funny.
I forgot to write that down, and I haven't come up with another one yet. Anyway, it's still light news. Light week for news.
Which is a good thing.
It is a good thing, because it's getting late, but yeah, just forgive me if some of these stories aren't the most exciting in the world. For example, starting off, Go Nintendo reports Monster Hunter shampoo is now available in Japan.
Big ups. I am totally down for... I can't remember any of their names. I was going to give Diablo shampoo. I think that's the name of
Rathalos.
Rathalos shampoo.
Raytheon?
Yeah, with extra cooling shit or whatever. I don't know. That's awesome. That's cool. Kris, would you use this if you could?
Not really.
All right, that's fair.
Monster Hunter's really awesome,
neat, though.
It is awesome.
I'm sure it is. I don't want to.
Monster Hunter's great.
I use cheap ass Suave.
Suave, Kris.
I use soap.
Really?
Well, that's fair.
I don't have hair right now.
Yeah, that's fine.
That's a good point. Yeah.
So I just. But even when I had a little bit left, I get the Duke Cannon soaps most of the time, or like Dr. Squatch or whatever, because they smell really good, and I like them. I like the pine tar ones; those are especially good. But yeah, the whole face, beard when I had it, head, no shampoo, just a bar of soap like a fucking man.
You guys use shaving cream?
Yeah.
No.
Shaving gel.
No.
All right.
Sorry, I was supposed to send you that thing, Kris, by the way. It's called the Freebird. That's the one I have. You don't need shaving cream with it. Or gel.
So I use a regular, razor, like a safety razor, and I do not use any shaving cream, and Larissa constantly
That's fucking
is
wild.
what is wrong with you? And I was like, what? I don't feel it that much. And she's like, you're pulling the hairs out of your face. Like, why would you do? There's other ways. And I said, no, this is fine. I don't want to buy shaving cream. This is okay. Like, I wet my face.
Expensive.
Well, I don't know. Like, I've used it. It doesn't really, like, contribute anything. Actually, like, yeah, it's slightly smoother, but it's never made it so that, I don't know, besides my face being wet, like, no, I'll never shave my face dry. That's a psychopath thing. But, like, I literally just wet my face and make sure it's, like, wet enough for the razor to go through. And that's enough to, like, get rid of the friction. I was just curious. But yeah, I know I'm the odd man out. She watches me because she's like, aren't you going to cut your face or anything? I'm like, no, I think I've just gotten used to doing it too. But yeah, no, I figure most people use shaving cream, and I'm sure someone's going to have something to say in the SAG chat later about that.
Yeah, I always get... I mean, my face just gets kind of fucked up when I don't use shaving cream. I've been using Gillette Mach 3 razors for ages. I like them just fine. I tried using, like, the 4-bladed ones. I was like, this is ridiculous.
They bunch up too quick. Like, all the hair loads in, and then you can't use them anymore.
The Mach 3 is just where I'm at. That's what I like.
This is why I don't shave.
What was the one you used? The Freebird? I want to at least see a Freebird.
Yeah,
shaver.
it's dope. I like it a lot.
It's a hand shaver. Okay. Go ahead, Chris. Sorry.
Our next story comes to us from Nintendo Life. It says, Nintendo's long-lost advent calendar game comes home for Christmas on Switch. I had never heard of this before. It's called Mission in Snowdrift Land. It was a game that they published with Nintendo and German developer Tons of Bits mastered the art of the advent calendar with Opixo in action, Mission in Snowdrift Land. So basically, it's a little platformer, kind of similar to, like, not dissimilar to, like, Daily Dadish, where every day you would get a different level leading up to Christmas. It was an advent calendar. But it was released online. It was a thing that Nintendo was involved with on a website. And it looks cute. It's got this little snowman dude. Apparently, it's been... the original game has been preserved recently, and the company that has the rights to it now is apparently publishing it on their own without Nintendo. It says Mission in Snowdrift Land.
Tons of Bits? Is that the name of the company? Tons of Bits,
yeah.
Okay,
Tons of Bits, cool.
Yeah. It's on Steam, too. I didn't realize that. This looks really tight. Like, it looks pretty good.
Yeah, it looks interesting, and it's coming November 29th to Switch, apparently. So I'll give that a try. That sounds like an
that's
interesting
awesome.
little bit.
I've always been surprised that there are not more Christmas-themed games.
I haven't tried that new Santa one yet. I'm waiting until after Thanksgiving to pick that one up.
Yeah.
We talked about this on the show recently. It was,
yeah.
I have it on my Switch wish list, which I can check my wish list from
the
here.
phone.
I just can't check it from my... I can't check my play history. The Legend of Santa, the Super Mario Brothers ripoff game.
Yeah.
It's $5 whole. I'm definitely buying that, like, after Thanksgiving. I've got to give that a shot. Got to give that a roll. Anyways, moving right along, Footloose and Fancy Free. Where the hell did my notes go? There we go. Retro RGB. Blaster Master NES to Super NES has been it's up there. Rumblemans.
Oh yeah, that was really cool. Yeah,
he just posted this week his official release of V1.1 of his NES to SNES conversion of Blaster Master. I have not tried it yet. It looks beautiful. I am very excited for all of the you do different color palettes. It's got a hover recharge, so if you stand still, hover will recharge automatically, which is just a brilliant addition because having to farm hover power up in that game is a pain in the ass. They just did fantastic work all around. We had Rumblemans on the show pretty recently.
He's a cool dude. Yeah,
wonderful. Yeah, wonderful human being doing the Lord's work.
I actually looked it up. I found a Reddit post with them in there, and they're speaking very highly of him. Love Rumblemans and Indefelity doing all the NES to SNES ports. So shout out to him.
Indefelity? I thought it was Infidelity.
Did I say that wrong? Man, you know...
I don't know. Maybe I've been saying it wrong.
No. That is probably infidelity. I mean, I definitely have multiple issues with reading and stuff, so that's probably on me. I'm sure it's infidelity, and I just read it wrong. Yeah, there you go. See? That's it. I definitely want to check this out. Is it straight into just a emulator or...
Yeah, I think you can just run it in your SNES emulators, or you can put it on a FX pack.
That's really cool. I'm super excited for this. You actually turned me on to Blaster Master years ago. I think I bought a new copy off eBay, and I ended up beating it. It was a really I didn't know anything about Blaster Master, so I went into it knowing nothing. It was a really fun game. After that, I beat Blaster Master Zero, and I've gone on.
Zero games are great.
I've gone on to really enjoy all those games, and to go back and play something like this on an extra bit of power, it's gonna be really, really cool.
Some nice quality of life improvements.
Huge shout out to Rumblemans. That's really cool that there's a huge community for that. I've always said that before, but it's just so neat that exists and people are putting in the time to make stuff like that happen. And I hope it never goes away. If anything, I hope it only gets bigger.
That's what she said.
Moving on, time extension reports. The ZX Spectrum just got an amazing new Donkey Kong port, but don't expect it to be around for long. Look, I'm not British, so I don't think I'll ever understand the fascination with the ZX Spectrum. It's just
the ZX. Very nice. Heard that.
The visuals on this system are just so horrible. Although the color blocking, it's just I don't get the draw. I really don't. I understand that there's a nostalgia factor to it. There just has to be, but I've never understood the draw of making new games, new homebrew on this thing, and it gets a ton of homebrew.
Ollie was a really big fan of that, right? The ZX Spectrum?
He's MSX was his big thing, I think.
That's what it was.
MSX fan.
Yeah.
But the I'm looking at this port. It's really impressive looking for a Spectrum game, but also I don't know. It's just one of those things, those platforms I'll never really understand the fascination with. And it's fine. Not everything has to be for me. Moving right along. Kotaku, I don't even know why I put this in here. Kotaku reports Game of Thrones Sophie Turner is about to become Lara Croft for the Tomb Raider series. I didn't even know there was a live-action Tomb Raider series in the works. I know that animated one just came out, and I think Sophie Turner's terrible casting for Lara Croft.
Yeah, I don't see it.
She reminds me in no way, shape, or form of Lara Croft. So, sure, whatever, man.
She's British.
Oh, right.
So
I guess
that.
And female. So,
2 of the 3.
Who would you cast?
Check 2 of the 3 boxes.
I don't know. I don't know people anymore.
Unless you say fucking, I don't know, Bette Midler, I'm not going to say you're weird.
I don't know. I would like to see what Bette Midler would do with that role.
Fucking money to see that.
Bette Midler in those little shorty shorts and the tank top? Come on now.
Yeah, that lady's packing heat. I don't know if she can fit into all that, but she's a tour de force for sure.
The correct answer is Daisy Ridley, in case you were wondering.
Ooh, that would be a really good pick. That is
She's
a solid
busy, though.
Pick. Is she? What's she doing?
Star Wars. They just got her signed back on for a bunch of new Star Wars projects.
I'm very happy about that. I did not know that, and I'm super happy about it. It's the same character? She's gonna... Oh, she's awesome.
The next... There's a...
No, she's also playing Doctor Doom? That's weird. It's in Star Wars?
Playing Doctor Doom in Star Wars as Bette Midler.
It's going to be weird.
As Lara Croft.
Look. That's the 6ix9ine universe out there, man. That's just what Marvel's about, It's a different universe. That's what it is.
If anybody could do it.
IGN reports Phil Spencer responds to Microsoft's This Is an Xbox ad campaign, which is already a meme. This week, Microsoft launched a new advertising campaign designed to hammer home the fact that you can play Xbox pretty much on any device and anywhere, sparking yet more backlash as the company's console strategy. This is Xbox campaign includes images of cats and a bento box, among other devices that can play video games. The idea Microsoft is trying to get across, which is in keeping with its previous messaging, is that Xbox is less about consoles these days and more about being able to play on any device capable of playing a video game. So in this sense, a TV is an Xbox, a phone is an Xbox, etc.
How about you shut your whore mouth, Phil Spencer? How about you shut your fucking mouth? You made a video game system, just tell people that the video games go on the video game system, because I get it. I get it. You're trying to make it so that everyone can access the library that you have for the subscription price that you want them to pay. But fuck you. Fuck you, Phil Spencer. Like, I don't want to play Call of Duty Black Ops 6 on my goddamn Roku. I want to play it on my fucking Xbox or my computer, and you shouldn't have it available on the fucking Roku or a Fire Stick or whatever stupid device you think, or a bento box with a cat in it, because shut the fuck up, you stupid idiot. God damn it.
I do want them to put it on the PlayStation, though.
That's fine.
I just put Xbox Live on PlayStation.
You know what?
I don't know who's in the way of that, but just can we just get to that point?
It would be a massive power move, to say the least. And, are we that far off? I feel like, there's a very short jump there, but I think it's bad PR.
I keep thinking we're getting close to that point, and then Microsoft keeps coming out and being like, so our next console, it's like, whoa, what are you guys,
they're working on a handheld console now, like, fucking,
like, what are you guys doing?
No,
don't do that.
That's the thing. You got to fucking pick a lane now, because I'm not saying there's camps to this, but there are definitely groups of gamers that will only play on these certain things. Like, the person that is buying an Xbox or a PS5 is not the same person that will hook up their phone to the TV to play those same games. They want the best experience they can get, and they're willing to shell out the cash for the hardware. So I'm not going to say it's a slap in the face, because that's too strong. I'm not that big of a fan of any company to think it's a slap in the face, but it is a little bit...
it's certainly a dick on the shoulder.
Yeah, it's weak, because you're trying to cater to a larger audience, but you're alienating the audience that made you all the money that you had originally. And that's not so... I guess that's stupid to say for Microsoft, because they do have fuck you money, but it's in bad taste regardless. It's just a stupid PR stunt, and I don't think it's going to afford them anything in the long run. I mean, do you guys think this is a good move?
I don't think anyone in the AAA space is making good moves right now.
No, you're right. You're right. That's very true. Nintendo, Sony, and... Valve.
I think is like, if you consider like the Steam Deck as a platform, I like that they came out and said, like, yes, obviously there's going to be a Steam Deck 2 at some point when it's worth it for the power jump. And we're not even close to that yet. Stop asking.
I don't really consider Valve in the AAA
that
space. Just like Nintendo isn't really in the AAA space. They're kind of... Valve's kind of doing their own thing. And Nintendo's doing their own thing, and then Microsoft is doing, we're going to put our games on everything and not really focus on anything in particular and buy everything that we can get our hands on. And I'm hearing reports that the PlayStation 5 Pros, like, in order to get enough out there, there's like a bunch of different versions of it out there, so there's different chipsets you can get that'll have different performance issues, and like...
That's not a good idea.
What the fuck, guys?
No, like, just maybe don't release the system. Like, maybe
pick
that was the idea.
And make it well.
Yeah,
like, let's just pick something and make it well. That's all I want.
No, you're right, because
like LL Cool J, doing it well.
Well, yeah. I feel like this is almost like the rehash of the PS3 model, like, fiasco, but now they're just trying to hide it. Like, all right, cool. We have all these different things that probably do the same stuff, but we're not going to tell you that there's any differences, and we're just going to sell them as the same thing. very, very bad, like, for just not being upfront at all, and, like, people having to find out on the back end, especially because the system was so expensive in the first place.
Not the greatest of jujus.
No.
Last but not least, like I said, a short news week. Nintendo Life reports Donkey Konga fan creates custom track tool. You can now make your own custom Donkey Konga tracks.
That's awesome.
Oh, like the beats and stuff? That's awesome.
Yeah.
Oh, that's really cool.
The rhythm game, Donkey Konga. Apparently, it's the emulator they're working with doesn't support the bongos yet, but they're getting there. Let's see, if you're a fan of the severely underrated Donkey Konga franchise from the GameCube era, then you're in luck. A dedicated fan has created a tool called Konga Beat that allows you to import songs and create your own custom tracks that can then be exported for use with either Donkey Konga 2 or 3.
Wow. That's like, you know, when...
It's time to do Dragon Force.
I was going to say, when Guitar Hero and Rock Band went under...
Flames.
Yeah, like, people made their own stuff. I think it's really cool that Donkey Konga's coming out with stuff like that, but I don't know how people's hands aren't going to catch on fire from hitting those bongos so hard.
I don't know, I've watched my kid play FNF.
Anyway, Funkin'!
That's it for week old news. So we're going to take ourselves another break, and when we come back, we're going to talk about Pac-Man. You're listening to the Stone Age Gamer podcast from geekade.com. Stick around.
Hey, I'm Ryan.
And I'm Andy. Neither of us are David Crane, but we are the hosts of David Crane's Amazing Movie Time.
That's our monthly Geekade Patreon exclusive podcast that covers movies that are cult classics, weird, or just sometimes laughably bad.
We ourselves have at least two of those qualities, so I guess it makes sense to hear what we think of those movies in retrospect.
You can hear all that and more by becoming a Geekade Patreon supporter.
And, as always, be kind, rewind.
Vestlord is here, clicking and clanging away on the controller for the entertainment of the public. That's right, the premier cyber sports entertainer is back in league with the Electronic Coliseum, where all the cyber sports entertainment happens. The Vestlord is going on a winning spree of likes unknown to get a shot at the coveted Electronic Coliseum Championship. If you want to see if the Vestlord has what it takes, head on over to the show notes for where to find him, or search Vestlord on Twitch or YouTube. Become a fan of the ECC, back the best, cheer for the Vest. See you there.
We are Safe at Home, the leading dog rescue in the heart of New Jersey. Are you searching for a loyal companion, a dog that will bring love and joy to your home? Look no further than Safe at Home. At Safe at Home, we believe in giving every dog a second chance. We rescue, rehabilitate, and find loving forever homes for dogs in need, right here in the Garden State. Our dogs are ready to make a lasting impact on your life. Each one has a unique story, a wagging tail, and an incredible capacity for love. When you adopt from Safe at Home, you're not just gaining a pet, you're becoming a part of our family. Our dedicated team ensures a seamless adoption process, providing ongoing support and guidance. With New Jersey's beautiful parks, beaches, and trails, you and your new furry friend will have endless opportunities for adventures and cherished memories. Safe at Home relies on the support of compassionate individuals like you. Your donations and volunteer work enable us to continue saving lives and finding forever homes for these amazing dogs. Join us in creating a safer, happier community for dogs in New Jersey. Together we can make a difference and give every dog the chance to feel safe at home. Visit our website or call us now to learn about how you can be a part of the Safe at Home mission. Safe at Home, because every dog deserves to be loved and protected. www.safeathomerescue.org.
Hi everyone, Kris here. Podcast listening is free, but podcast creation is not. That's why the Geekade Patreon exists. In an effort to help us pay the bills, we've got a Patreon page set up where you can gain access to our monthly podcast topic schedule, get early access to many of our shows, and more. If you'd like to help support Geekade and keep these shows running week after week, head over to the Geekade Patreon page, linked in the show notes of this very podcast.
Pac-Man. That's me.
Pac-Man. All right, everybody, we are back, and no, sir, we are Pac. All aboard the Cartoon Express, everybody.
God damn it. I knew that was coming at some point this episode. I'm a little disappointed it took this long.
Why does he look like that?
What is...
Fuck it. I want to jump into it. Why does he look like that?
Why is anything? We are talking about Season 1, Episode 7, Part 1, Sir Pac-a-Lot of the 1982 Pac-Man animated series from Hanna-Barbera. This episode aired on November 6th, 1982. And I gotta say, of all the shows we've watched so far, I disliked this the least. I had a good time with this one.
It was fine.
Yeah, it was old
fine.
Hanna-Barbera. It wasn't.
It's watchable.
Garbage. There were actually a handful of gags that made me chuckle.
It starts off weirdly racist, is what the family noticed while we were watching.
I mean, but it's the time. Like, everything was kind of racist.
Whatever guy pulls up to the power pellet checkpoint, and he was like, "Why do you guys look like that?" And
why don't you look like other Pac people?
Yeah, why don't you look like other Pac people? It's like, oh, that's a fucking weirdly racist way to start this fucking episode. Whatever the Pac
all look the same
world.
Here.
Yeah. Very odd.
Can I just point out that, I'm not saying it's 100% the case, but does anyone get Aqua Teen Hunger Force vibes out of all the drawings here?
Well, I do think Aqua Teen Hunger Force had a very Hanna-Barbera inspired.
Okay, all right, that's fair.
Look
that's
to
fair.
it.
Sure.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, I just maybe I'd never put two and two together, but I'm staring at a lot of these characters, and they all kind of give off that vibe of they could have all been in that show. I don't know. Maybe Pac-Man could have made an appearance in there, but from the sound effects to the voice acting and stuff, it was 100% imprinted on you that this was a Hanna-Barbera joint. Did this run for a long time?
No. 2 seasons, I believe.
2 seasons.
This went for this is 3 seasons here on IMDb. There were a ton of episodes. It ran from 3 seasons from 1982 to 1984.
Wow. Okay. I mean,
that's not bad. That's actually a pretty decent amount of time.
Yeah. No, it's. You guys are right. It's not. It's definitely not the worst show we've ever seen by any stretch of the imagination.
Close to the Power Team or Donkey Kong Country. This was a perfectly serviceable 1980s cartoon with a plot and some voice acting, some goofy voices. I liked how the intro used music from Pac-Land. It was immediately tied directly into the video game. And unfortunately, it was tying into Pac-Land and not Pac-Man. So it's you've got him with the red boots and the dopey red hat, and everyone's got hats. And it's what's with all the hats? Why all the ghosts have individual hats? They were different colors. That was enough to differentiate them. You didn't need to add hats.
Yeah, I already knew that they were different. Yeah, that is definitely a weird choice. This was fine. It was perfectly serviceable.
I've never heard of any of these voice actors. I actually looked up the guy that did Pac-Man, and he's definitely been in a lot of stuff, but I've never heard of him, and it definitely looks like he's always just been in things that were 100% before my time. He was in Darkwing Duck as a voice for a while, though.
Oh, that's neat.
Yeah.
I thought he sounded like Winnie the Pooh when I looked him up. I was like, no, that's not him.
A little bit.
Boy, he sounded like Winnie the Pooh.
Yeah.
You mentioned the inspection station, and I actually chuckled at the inspector inspection station line.
Yeah, I thought that was funny. Yeah.
This is the inspector inspection station. It's like, oh shit, no. Now, and then they call it a fucking airstrike. He's just busts out airdrop me some power pellets, and it starts raining power pellets. Like, they are ready to fight these. They are over prepared for these ghosts.
I do like that he says drop power pellets at these coordinates while he is continuing to run no longer at those coordinates.
That is a metric fuck ton of power pellets. He's going to be worried out.
It really is wasteful.
Those.
It's very wasteful. Like
a ton of those things.
It seems like they could let the ghosts have some.
Just a
couple. It seems like they're just resource guarding for no fucking reason. It's just like, no, these are ours. Fuck you. I mean, maybe not Dr. Robotnik, whatever that fucking guy's name is I don't know what evil he's going to get up to.
Freaky looking.
He's like a weird not Robotnik.
Oh yeah, he's got like a weird like harmonica mouth,
and, like Darth Vader or something. He's just
yeah.
No, I did not care for that. I also like how I
like his time machine though.
Yeah, this whole thing
nice.
It starts off, and then it's like, you know what? We're doing a time machine. We only got like 15 minutes left, but fuck it, we're traveling back in time in this thing that looks like a time bomb.
Wait, that's a time machine. That I thought it was a time bomb. That's a machine. It looked
like a bomb, but it was a time machine. Send them back to meet Sir
Pac-a-Lot.
He
was like ripping a hole in the space-time continuum with that thing. I didn't think it was an actual machine.
No, it's a time machine. I also love how like they go back in time, and the ghosts come out, and it's just like with this disdain in their voice. It's like, boy, this thing works about as well as a washing machine. Like, do washing machines, did they not work in the 80s? Like, what the hell's with that line? And why are you saying it with such disdain? What you got against washing machines? That was a really weird line.
It got you back in time to exactly the time you fucking said it to. Because the evil dude said it to the right time, and then the blue ghost popped out for whatever reason and was like, this is wrong, and just fucking started changing it.
I know it's right, but
for
it's wrong.
Literally no reason.
I'm going to fuck things up today. All right.
My biggest complaint watching this show is the inconsistency of the ghosts. Because they're at one point, the ghosts fall down. And ghosts can't fall down. That's not a thing they do. They needed a ladder to get up into a tower, but they didn't climb the ladder. They floated above the ladder. Like, it's just they fell into a moat. Like, how did you fall?
Why was
ghost? Why'd you stop?
The ladder in the front of him? Like, he's like, I keep this ladder in my crotch for some reason.
In my fucking marsupial pouch
ladder.
That was really weird. That was the part where it took me out of the show, because I was like, all right, look, ghosts can't fall down.
No, I'm still stuck on that time machine, man. Like, you cannot tell me those two bottom red things are not dynamite. They are plugged into it. Someone made a time bomb, and they were just like, fuck it, we don't have time to remake a machine. We're just going to stick them inside the clock. Because what else makes sense there? That looks clearly like a cartoon bomb. You made a cartoon bomb, and you guys were too lazy to fucking change it. Like, don't lie to me.
He does look like a really evil dude. So
yeah. Like,
he seems disproportionately evil too. Like, everything in this Pac-Man world is kind of goofy. They're all wearing hats. They're all like circles with big dopey eyes.
Yeah.
And this is just like a realistically proportioned man in a cape with a like weird Darth Vader mouthpiece thing on. Like, one of these things is not like the other. I want to know how he got there and what his plans are.
What's his story?
He came out of a completely different universe and was like, you know what? I'm gonna fuck things up here. This world's too pretty. I'm gonna make it terrible. And he's just not very good at his job.
My biggest complaint was the dragon. I was like, oh, cool, we're gonna get a dragon, and we just get this weird fat green thing. It's like, oh, and where the fuck did those ghosts get that catapult from?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was. I looked over at the kids as we're watching it, and I was like, "Where the fuck they get a trebuchet?"
It's like they just have this now. But they get
it was in his fucking marsupial pouch. Right. Doesn't matter. That's
Wait, what?
Trebuchet as well. Yeah, none of this. As far as a cohesive plot, that did not exist.
No, it's an 80s cartoon though, so like you know, it's fine. It's Hanna-Barbera. Like that dragon's fat ass fit into the time machine. No, he didn't. No, he didn't. He was 3 times the size of the fucking time machine. You gonna tell me his fat ass fit in there? No, it didn't. No, and especially with the fucking ghosts. But like,
can opener made me laugh. The can opener made me laugh. I know it probably shouldn't have. But he's like, oh, you can't eat me. I got this helmet. He's like, not with this can opener. And he just stands there and lets him do it. He just he's like, oh crap. He's doing it. I can't stop him. I couldn't just float 3 feet to the left. Nope. I'm going to stand here and let him open me up like a can of spinach. Oh man. I dug this one. This is what I look for when I look for shitty old cartoons. Like the sound was just like all this Hanna-Barbera sound effects. Like they're the same sound effects you heard in the Flintstones and the Jetsons. Like I half expected a laugh track to show up. Like it was pretty fucked up when that one ghost imploded himself.
He ate himself.
That was it's like, no, don't do it. I got it. And Pac-Man's just like, well, okay then. Thanks for
I guess you could do it for me. Yeah.
That was weird.
That's pretty fucked up.
It's kind of dark.
Why does the bald Darth Vader fellow want to fuck up Pac-Man so bad? What does he get out of it?
That is
he just wants the power pellets.
Like,
He's
does his space harmonica sound better?
Forest.
Is he going to become part of the Doobie Brothers if he kills Pac-Man? Like, what is it?
Maybe he just wants to go home. Maybe he needs power pellets to get back to whatever world he's from. And all these Pac people are just like, fuck you. No.
For having no mouth, he has incredible diction. That's all I'm saying. I don't have much else to say about the show. It was good. No, it was worth a laugh. Yeah,
good is a stretch.
Well, it's classic Hanna-Barbera.
Good is not the word I would
use.
Agreed. I don't know that I'd say it was decent. Yeah, let's go with decent. That's where I'll go.
I had fun enough. So could it have been better? Yeah. Was it the best thing we've seen so far? Yeah, and we've seen some pretty fucking bad stuff. So, we needed a break. This was a nice change of pace.
All right, so here's what I got. I wrote down all the shows we've watched so far. We've done 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. This is our 9th one, right? So, do we want to rank these things, or do we just want to do a tier list?
Man,
I don't think a tier list is fun.
I don't think we have enough for a tier list either.
Well, I was going to say, this and Captain N go in A tier, and everything else goes in eat a dick tier. It's everything else. It's just the difference in quality is so staggering.
Yeah.
But I think ranking them perhaps would be better.
I don't think this will take too long. Let's bang this out.
Right.
Let's start with the Bubsy pilot. All right, the Bubsy pilot is our baseline.
Yep.
Mega Man, Bad Day at Peril Park, better or worse than Bubsy?
Above Bubsy.
Yeah, it's better than Bubsy. Yeah,
no question. All right, The Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog, Robotnik Jr.
Below Mega Man.
Dean?
Yeah, all right, because it's Mega Man.
This was the comedy show.
Robotnik Jr. No, I remember. Yeah, Mega Man wasn't a terrible show, but it was just okay. So above Sonic.
Yeah,
Mega Man has a much better theme song.
Yeah,
that's true. Yeah, and I mean, Mega Man had better episodes than Bad Day at Peril Park was not one of that show's stronger episodes.
But it did have better episodes. It was a watchable show for the most part.
Sonic the Season 2, Episode 3, No Brainer. I still don't like this quite as much as Mega Man, but I think I liked this show better than the comedy one.
Yeah.
I hate Robotnik Jr.
Yeah, that was pretty bad.
Yeah.
All right.
I don't think I was here for this one. This was the actual like show that had a like Princess Sally and all that was there.
Yes.
Oh,
yeah.
then 100%
More serious,
above. Yeah, that's above Sonic, below Mega Man.
All right, The Adventures of Super Mario Bros. 3, Season 1, Episode 12, Misadventure of Mighty Plumber.
Below Sonic, below Mega Man. I would say that's
above Comedy Sonic.
Above
I
Comedy
agree with
Sonic,
you.
but-
above Comedy
yeah.
Sonic. I don't. You think so?
See, I'm kind of
I fucking hated that Robotnik Jr. thing. I hated that. That was.
I didn't hate
but
it
I
that
think
much.
I disliked it, but I know I said I hated it a minute ago. But there are things about that I didn't. That's not the weird chili dog dispenser. I think Misadventure of Mighty Plumber was worse.
Yeah,
Like, it's
I
not-
would agree.
I mean,
think-
I'm not going to fight you on it.
Yeah, I think
I'm not gonna die about
it goes above Bubsy.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
I don't think
yeah.
it was quite as. I don't think it was quite as successful as Sonic the Hedgehog. Boy, that's a sentence that I just said. All right. Captain and the Game Master, Season 1, Episode 11, In Search of the King.
I mean,
We're
for
obviously
me,
better than Bubsy. Are we better than both Sonics?
I would put it below Mega Man. I enjoy it more than the Sonics. It's not
Same here.
good,
Wait,
but I enjoy it more.
Is that the ski one that we saw, or is this a different one?
No.
Okay.
That's
I don't think I
like,
saw that one.
twisted
so I'm-
versions of themselves from the mirror.
yeah, with the Simon Belmont and Pitt and whatnot. Yeah.
I don't think I was here for that one, so I'm just gonna. I'm not gonna say anything because I can't judge on something I didn't see.
All right, I think we're all going to feel the same about this one. Donkey Kong Country, Season 2, Episode 5, Message in a Bottle Show is straight to the bottom.
Straight to the top.
do you think it's worse than Bubsy?
I was more
leaps
offended
and
by,
bounds.
Yes, I was way more
All right.
offended by that than the Bubsy
All right.
pilot.
All
The
right.
Bubsy
I
pilot
mean,
was garbage,
yeah,
but
all right.
holy
Yeah.
crap. This show
It's by far the best podcast episode that we've done based on this. But it
was
is
also by
just
far the worst episode. It was putrid.
It was
not
that was
even
bad.
close.
That was pretty bad.
It's apples to hand grenades is the
I'll
fucking
go,
comparison.
I'll go
Like,
below Bubsy.
filth.
Yeah,
Just
bottom tier. Bottom tier.
Video Power, Season 1, Episode 23, Ski Patrol.
Above Bubsy, that's all I'll give it on that one.
A Bubsy.
I agree.
Bubsy, yeah.
A Bubsy.
Yeah, it doesn't
It's
beat The
Bubsy.
Adventures of Super Mario Bros. 3, which is a pretty low bar, but it does beat Bubsy. And then we have Pac-Man, Season 1, Sir Chomp-a-Lot.
God, that might hit the top, which is sad to say, but wait, what's the top right now? Is the top Mega Man?
Mega Man, Bad
Yeah.
Day at Pearl Park. So it is Mega Man as a show.
Fuck.
We're talking specifically this episode.
So the
Bad Day
worst
at Pearl
of Mega
Park.
Man versus a passable Pac-Man episode, I'm probably going to put Pac-Man at the top because this wasn't anything bad.
Pac-Man,
I'm fine
Pac-Man
with
made
that.
me chuckle. I had 2 jokes in this show that made me chuckle. So there we go. There is our list so far. Donkey Kong Country, Bubsy, Video Power, Mario 3, Sonic Comedy, Sonic Non-Comedy, Captain N, Mega Man, and Pac-Man. That is our tier list so far. And I figure, not our tier list, our rankings. I figure we'll do this once a year. After the next one, come January, we'll hit the reset button, and then we'll do our next set of episodes, and we can rank those. But here's the rules that I'm going to impose. We won't do any of the same show twice in a year. Right, so at most, we will only have to watch one Donkey Kong Country episode per year, at most. Because there's a lot of shows to get through. So I say
there is.
at the end of every... But once we've watched the show, that's the only episode we're going to get of that show in the year.
All right.
That makes sense?
Okay. Yeah.
And then we'll rank them as we go on a week-by-week basis instead of just now. So we've got we've got one more episode of this year, right? Because this is the November one. So let's go to the Plex machine here. Let's see what our next torture is going to be. What is next? Let's see. We need to go to playlists. We need to go to Cartoon Express. We're going to hit the old randomizer here and see if we land on a show that we haven't gotten to yet. Nope, that's Video Power. That's Pac-Man again. That's Video Power again. Jesus Christ. There it is. The next stop on the SAG Cartoon Express is Double Dragon, Season 2, Episode 4, Virtual Reality Bites.
I love that for us. I'm excited
so good.
already. I'm excited already.
Very excited.
Bimmy and Jimmy.
Indeed. Bimmy and Jammy.
Very excited.
Sign me up. Oh, boy. All right.
And virtual reality? I mean, come on.
We're hitting all the...
a lot of stuff happening.
All right, Double Dragon. Let's make sure we get we're talking about the animated series here. So that's this one. Sorry, I'm looking it up on IMDb. No, that's the movie. Where's the cartoon? There you are. In 1993, there was 26 episodes of this show. Goodness gracious me. Oh, all right. So yes,
at
there
least
we have
25 too many.
Season 2. It's got a second season. There's 2 seasons of this. For Season 2, Episode 3, Virtual Reality Bites, Double Dragon. Oh my god, I'm so excited. This is going to be so bad.
Can't wait.
Anyway, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. That is it for this week's episode of the Stone Age Gamer Podcast. We have our next stop on the SAG Cartoon Express, and that is our show. Join us next time for the 10, 20, 30, 40, because it's that time of the month. We're going to talk about all the notable releases from November 10, 20, 30, and 40 years ago. We've been on a pretty good run on these lately, so let's see if we can keep that streak alive. We are on most social media platforms, and if you want to get in touch with us, we aren't very difficult to find. All it takes is a quick look at our show notes, and you'll see links to our social media accounts, as well as all manner of other fun stuff, like a link to our namesake, StoneAgeGamer.com, and more useful links than you can shake a joystick at. If you'd like to get early access to this show's episodes, as well as a bevy of other shows on the Geekade Podcast Network, check out our Patreon, also linked to in the show notes. It helps keep this show running week after week, and all our patrons are loved and appreciated. This show's theme song, Squared Roots, was written by Banjo Guy Ollie. You can learn all about his wonderful music and more by following the link to his YouTube channel, also in the show notes. And finally, as always, we'd like to thank our intrepid editor, Evan, for making the show listenable for all you folks. We'd like to thank all you folks for listening in the first place. That's it, everybody. On behalf of Dan, Dean, and myself, keep playing games.